Good morning, everybody, and this is your DAX day trade setups for today. So we did get the pullback we were expecting yesterday, but it was quite volatile. Didn't really look like some structured move, but I think the key thing here is crossover of the moving averages and above the 150 EMA at the moment. So oscillators are grouped to the upside and crossed over, and there is quite a bit of data coming. So this 1600, as we expected yesterday, where are we? There. 1600 was again tested, and I mean, it's been like that all year. The minute we get to 1600, there's a whole lot of things that start happening. We either break through, find support, and then try rally, or alternatively we reject it, and that's kind of what happened yesterday. We may just be settling back into this range from a couple of weeks ago, so that is something that you do need to keep in the back of your mind at the moment. We've got quite a bit of data coming out today, and then non-farm payrolls tomorrow as well. All of that could impact us. Now, just looking at the 3 hour, you can see we pulled back onto structure here, and then the buyers came in. So there is something happening here at this level of 15,827, and if you just look left, you can see quite a bit of interaction here. Nothing strange. Beautiful price action as far as I'm concerned. The big question here is we've got tails to the upside there and tails to the downside, so that's confusion, barbed wire, whatever you want to call it, but that is confusion inside an area where there has been confusion before. So dropping down to the hour, and you can see, we got this rejection fairly early, pretty much. What time was that? 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we did the video around here, and that just one-way traffic. So from then, you can probably see it open here, then dropped, found support here again, and then we just came into sort of a consolidation pattern in amongst the moving averages here. So, if I drop down to the 15-minute. Was there an opportunity to get short? Not one that's glaringly obvious, unfortunately. I did say to you, we're looking for pullback onto here, and you can see how they tried. You've got a pin bar here, but you would have wanted to be a little bit above that as your entry, so that didn't work out. This may have stopped you out. Pin bar on, a couple of pin bars here, jump in here thinking, okay, all's funky dory, with a stop there, so that wouldn't have worked out. So that was, but again, if you look at the gaps that we had to the downside, you always got to be cautious when you see all these gaps like that, and that's a perfect trap if you look at it. Which just went against everybody, and then of course some people would have been holding, and then at the last minute going, no, this thing's going to go to the floor, I'm getting out, and then lo and behold, it sort of comes back again. So I think there's still going to be more of the same, to be honest. What you want to do now is just understand what exactly is going on here, and for as long as we're in amongst the moving averages, we are sideways, we are ranging, and I would expect to break up or down from that. If we do break down, and the level we're looking to break is going to be this here, 15,889, then I'd expect us to move back down here to 15,827. If we do break up, profit taking area is 1600. So I don't think there's much of structure that is forming at the moment. And if you look at this on the daily, that is technically a bit of a hanging man with the moving averages in the wrong layup. So you'd want to cross over them pointing up. At the moment, they're not. So I have a feeling this megaphone that we are talking about for quite some time now on the higher time frames is still very much in play. And we're basically just hovering around in the middle of the megaphone. My concern is what's happening with the daily oscillators there. So there is merit for a move down. there could also be merit for a move up. So the highs and lows of yesterday are the key indicators here. So you break above the highs, then we're probably moving up. You'll find some structure forming. Break below the lows of yesterday, you're going to find this gap close first and then possibly something lower. But bear in mind, we still do have these higher lows here. So there's 3 higher lows here, and you might as well just do this. Probably the start of a diamond formation. There we go. Now you can see low, and then that's higher. Watch what the oscillator's doing. The oscillator's lower, and then you've got low, high, higher low there with crossover pointing up. So just looking at the daily, we're in an area of chaos just underneath 1600, which has been like that since April. I don't think, well, there probably is some interaction with that further back in April. Yep, there we go. That was sort of previous highs in 2021. So just looking at that picture, it does look like we are trying to reject this on the weekly. Oscillators in the weekly are pointing down at the moment, but we are not falling. So I'm expecting a base to be formed soon. The big question is, where is that base going to form? And if you just look at that weekly level there, that is the line in the sand that we're all looking at, which is 15,700. And if I come back to the 8 hour, look where that gap is. That gap is right there at 15,700. So, you know, that gap closing, that's weekly support, but that would give us a big weekly pin bar if it closes down there with 2 days to go in the week. So anyway, a lot going on. I think you really need to pay attention to the highs and lows yesterday. I think that is going to be your cue. I wouldn't worry too much about anything else, and you can basically worry about these. Sorry, you can worry about these 2 levels here. You break this one, break this the upside, 15.95, find support there, and I'd get down to the 5-minute chart if you've got time, because that'll give you the early entry, maximize your capital. There's your stop is going to be 50 points, and gain is going to be about 60 points. So nothing earth-shattering, but there is Euro CPI coming up, which may impact this today as well. Okay, anyway, that's kind of my view. Until we break the highs and lows of yesterday, it's basically scalping. Hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow. Cheers for now.